What is up, my butter biscuits? Y'all, within today's video, I'm just letting you guys know right from the jump, this is literally going to be the most reading that I have ever done in a video. I actually wanted to create a video before this, but then I was kind of like, maybe there's not too much details. Now it's just like, whoa, there's too many details. So I probably should have made a video before and made this kind of like a two-part type of thing. Obviously, as you guys can tell by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about Jaclyn Hill once again because she is calling out Jen Gerard as well as Marlena Stell. As you guys know, or if you guys did not know, Marlena Stell owns Makeup Geek, Jen Gerard owns Gerard Cosmetics, and they have both worked with Jaclyn Hill before, and y'all, low-key, she kind of screwed them over. I just want to say this though, like, how many times on my channel have we said this? Like, Jaclyn Hill has kind of like messed with a lot of businesses, and I just don't understand, scandal after scandal, like, how come things don't change? Do you know what I mean? I always get a little bit like shocked at human nature sometimes. I feel like old habits die hard, and I feel like whenever I make a mistake, I'm going to change it if I care enough. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like this is just an ongoing thing. Well, now recently, Jen Gerard went on to the Sesh podcast and she called out Jaclyn Hill because, y'all, Jaclyn Hill was asking for a massive amount of money and kind of screwed her over in business as well too. And obviously, as you guys know, I did talk about Marlena Stell here before on my channel, the owner of Makeup Geek. Y'all know I have always said she holds a special place in my heart. Like, honestly, y'all, if you guys have not seen before or heard me say before, she was actually the very first brand to ever send me PR and the very first brand to invite me over to a party. I actually went to three, I want to say it's three, maybe two or three Makeup Geek parties. And she is just the sweetest person in the entire world. Like, honestly, how you see her online is literally how she is in person. I told you guys before, we were at the W one time. She had a party over there and me and my homegirl walked in, who was my +1. And she saw me. She's like, oh my God, hi. We like talked for a little bit and then she was like, come with me to come get a drink. And she literally went out of her way to take me up to the bar to get a drink. And I just thought that was so sweet, especially when you're hosting a whole event where there's literally hundreds of people there. It's just so personable of her, and I really, really respect her, and I look up to her. Honestly, I think that she's a really sweet person, and I think that it sucks that Jaclyn Hill is just, I don't know, I just feel like from my impression, I've never met Jaclyn, I don't really know, but from my impression, I just feel like she could be a little cold-hearted, y'all. Within today's video, they actually have a Reddit forum about Jaclyn Hill, and she wrote about this herself on the forum, and when I tell you it is long, this video is going to be long. It is a lot of reading. You guys know I fumble my words a lot, so I do apologize if I'm fumbling. This is a lot of reading, but I do think it is important to obviously read this. So we're going to be talking about that within today's video. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Also, click the link down below. Head over to my second channel. That's my travel channel with my brother. Go show some love over there, and let's go and get into it. All right, y'all. So I'm going to be reading this in two parts because the Jaclyn post that she did make into this forum, which, by the way, if you guys do want to head over there yourself, it's called Jaclyn Hill Snark. It's kind of like in two parts. She addresses Jen Gerard and then she addresses Marlena Stell, which I do want to say I'm kind of surprised that it took her so long to like address Marlena Stell, obviously, because this has been going around the internet for a long period of time now. And just recently, Jen Gerard went onto the Sesh podcast and told her side of the story, what happened with Gerard Cosmetics and how she kind of screwed over Gerard Cosmetics as well too. I do want to say, not going into full detail because we have talked about it here on my channel before, when it comes down to Marlena Stell, I feel like that one was even way more dirty than Jen Gerard, because basically Marlena Stell already had these colors already in the warehouse, already ready to go, and Jaclyn Hill literally just canceled the whole collaboration when she had the product in-house. It has been rumored before that obviously she cut this because she was like, you know what, I'm going to be coming out with palettes with Morphe, and Morphe was going to be paying her more, so that's why she cut it. But I just want to say, how heartless of a person can you be when you literally went through all the like lab manufacturer, color processing, choosing all the colors, the names, all that stuff? How heartless of a person can you be to see that in the warehouse and then literally cancel the collaboration? I don't care what, there is no way possible, even if I got offered more money, that I'm going to cancel out on that collaboration. Like, it's just so messed up. I know obviously Jaclyn Hill probably saw Morphe as in like, oh my God, they're going to be paying me millions upon millions of dollars, and then maybe over here with Makeup Geek, maybe I'm only going to make $1 million. Do you know what I mean? So maybe it was a better financial decision for her, but I just feel like morally and ethically, that is just so messed up. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first part of this. This is kind of like a two paragraph post from Jaclyn Hill. I'm going to read the paragraph and then I'm going to read all of the screenshots that she posted into this forum, which I do want to say, y'all, don't you guys find it a little bit trippy that Jaclyn Hill actually went onto this forum herself to actually address this? I personally feel like, in my, you know, my little opinion over here, I feel like she should have just went onto YouTube and like go ahead and made a video about it. Do you know what I mean? But then maybe this was just easier for her. I don't know. But this is what it says right here. Hey Jen, out of context, this sounds awful. So I'm so sorry if the reasoning behind my email didn't make sense. I went through our conversation, sharing here for context, and through our conversation, backed up on that. And the reasoning behind my request was I was noted that if you wanted to continue to use my name and likeliness, I'd request an overall buyout versus monthly affiliates. As you know, I had made over $600,000 with you through my affiliate / creating lip products with you, so I was correlating the $250,000 payment with the inventory left owner only if you wanted to continue to use my name and likeliness. I had noted attached that if you want to sell, or you went on to sell without my name and likeliness, then we could separate amicably, which is what I also noted I preferred. In terms of how we ended, you did end up removing my name and likeliness in connection with the product, so there was no need for payment. We did reach out once. We did reach out once as there were active banner ads using my name and likeliness years later, but that was in terms of our conversation. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of a little rough draft here, is basically she did do some lip collaborations with Gerard Cosmetics, and they basically came up with a name. However, they weren't using her name on the packaging. There wasn't customized packaging. It was just like the names that they had created, which I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jen Gerard did say that maybe Jaclyn had chose a name and maybe Jaclyn Hill had chose a name, and then maybe Jen Gerard had chose a name of one. But here's where things get a little bit tricky. Say, for example, if I want to go out there and I collaborate with a brand and I want to name it, Buttery Biscuit, right? And then obviously I don't have that trademark. That brand is fully entitled to continue using that. Obviously, I don't have any ownership of that, especially if they're not using my actual name on the product. So this is where things obviously can get a little bit tricky. Being that this is a collaboration, I feel like Jen Gerard could have just cut ties with Jaclyn and stopped using her name and imaging, do you know what I mean? But still kept the name of the lipstick and kept selling it because it doesn't have her actual name on it. Now, there is another paragraph right here, but that does go into Marlena, but I do want to go ahead and read some of the receipts right here because she did put the email of which Jen Gerard had posted on her post as well. So this is what the original Gerard Cosmetics post said right here. It said, "Hi Jaclyn, this has been an overwhelming and emotionally draining situation for the both of us. I want nothing but the best for you, and I don't want to stand in front of any of your opportunities and happiness, and I want a peaceful resolution to be reached. But it has to make sense for me and my business. I have given this situation a lot of thought, and wholeheartedly I feel that I compensated you generously for your efforts. I would greatly appreciate knowing the basis on which you feel that you should be compensated by an additional $250,000 and how you came to that amount. I need to understand what I get for giving you that or any other sum." And then it wasn't posted before what Jaclyn had posted, so she actually did respond to that email way back in the day. By the way, this is from 2015, so it's been a hot minute. But she was basically requesting the $250,000 as kind of like a buyout to continue using her likeliness. So this is what she says right here. Jaclyn: "Yes, you have always compensated me fairly. I have no problem with my commissions in the past. I would prefer that you take down all my products and move forward with no buyout. I am not trying to take money from you for no reason. You know me better than that. If you want to continue business as usual and continue to sell my product, it will not be easy for me. My subscribers will be confused and it will definitely make it harder for me. My name and my likeliness will always be attached to these shades forever. There is nothing I can do about that. If you type my name in on Google, Gerard Cosmetics pops up, and since I would prefer to totally detach my name and products, I think a buyout is very fair. I would like $50,000 for each shade and $100,000 for 1995. Which is the shade, I believe. We both know that the 1995 is a huge seller and people will never stop loving that shade. Again, if you are willing to remove all my products and my face from Gerard, I would much more prefer that. This is not about money to me, but if you're going to keep selling them and making money off of them, I think I should be compensated." I want to go ahead and let you guys know that obviously you guys know I'm a very opinionated person. I don't really have an opinion about this, only because I don't know the logistics of the business. Say, for example, as soon as you get lawyers involved and stuff like this, I do think that Jaclyn may have some type of basis to be compensated if her likeness is going to be used. Now, I do want to say, though, if Jen Gerard or Gerard Cosmetics just completely cut her name out of it completely, but kept the names of what, like, say, for example, 1995, that is a generic name. So say, for example, if she wanted to keep using that, I do think that she is fully entitled to do that. But I don't really have an opinion with this, obviously, because I'm just kind of like, y'all, I don't know the business aspect of it. I've never done an affiliate type of program before. I've never done a collaboration before, so I don't know how that would work right there. So basically, that was just the email right there to Jen Gerard, I do want to go ahead and get into this is where it gets super, super lengthy with Marlena. And in my personal opinion, I feel like she did Marlena way more dirty. Only because, like, seeing the actual pictures that Marlena Stell had posted of all of the shades that they had came up with just sitting there in the warehouse, and Jaclyn was not giving her an approval. Like, okay, when are we going to get a launch date for these? I'm just like, damn, how could you do your friend like that? Like, I just couldn't imagine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just for example, picture yourself with somebody who you consider a friend. You guys do a collaboration and you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on product, and then to just leave it sitting there. I'm just like, damn, like, to me that's really, really heartless. So this is what her message says right here in the Reddit forum. Marlena, our last exchange regarding the collaboration is attached. Up until end of August 2018, I understood us to be on good terms as you had offered additional collaborations, expressed gratitude, and noted what seemed to be a positive response for the collaboration not continuing, attaching that email. I understand from speaking to you that you had got a plan in place for the palettes and shades, and it wouldn't be an issue moving forward. If you had told me that then, it would be a brand closing situation. We would have made it work. But from our phone conversation and that email you wrote after, I truly thought it was fine. We did continue to work together in 2017 and into 2018. Your team even built a Jaclyn Hill favorites page for your site, which continued to be utilized for Makeup Geek sales. I know this from looking over emails and past confirmations I received in regard to affiliate money. This should show you I thought everything was good between us because I continue to support your brand. I can see where that is naive of me to think everything was okay, but hopefully that provides context to you on why I did. I did consider you a friend and never have denied the relationships you introed me to and don't plan to. I will say though, I did not work with the lab you think I did in Los Angeles for my lipsticks that you warned me about. I noted that to you when you posted a video saying that you warned me about the lab, but after that text clearing up that I didn't use the lab, you blocked me. For reference, I actually worked with the lab you introed me to and recommended to me based in Florida. From your text, you felt I wasn't being honest and I asked you to elaborate. You didn't at the time, but either way, you have the right to voice your opinion on any platform you want. I just wish as a friend in all of this, you would have come to me first. I have never been someone to immediately go to the internet to speak on my friends without speaking to them about it, and I have always voiced my concerns privately first, including with us. However, we didn't have one issue that was addressed privately first in our friendship. Instead, I would see your public opinion on me on the internet, then I'd text you and you'd clear things up with me privately, and then it'd happen again. We did set up a phone call, but when we ended up not speaking because you canceled the call, then 2 weeks later, I got an update that someone on your team or previously on your team had leaked our emails around the collaboration. The one email I shared earlier was not included in those leaked emails. I do think it's overall an important email for others to see to make their judgment on my lack of understanding we had issues from early 2016 to mid 2018. I can obviously see where I was communicating poorly and there was a lot of back and forth, but there also was a lot of text and phone exchanges as well that weren't shared. We both agreed there was context missing on our communication attached. After our text conversation, I understood we were on good terms again, and you sent me several nice texts over the holidays, attaching some. I admit, in terms of checking in, you were a much better friend than me during that time. I was not in a good place and not a good friend to anyone with everything going on. After that, I didn't hear from you again after the holidays. Instead, 6 months later, I saw you spoke out publicly versus trying to reach out to me privately first, and then I did try to speak to you blocked me. In the end, I recognize where the anger you both have comes from. If I would now change and handle things differently, but I can't. Marlena, I've apologized to you several times in depth via phone, email, and text for the way our collaboration went down. At this point, it seems our private conversations aren't working, and so this is me publicly apologizing, joining Reddit, and writing in a public forum where I know I'm not liked, and the people in here will spend the time tearing every word of this apart. This is not me trying to have my fans jump in quickly for public support. I don't want anyone sending you hate. That won't make the situation better for anyone. I'm just trying to paint a clearer picture as to what went on from my perspective, as well as take accountability. I've made lots of mistakes in my life, and my intention was never ever to hurt either of you. I hope you truly know that. However, even though that wasn't my intention, that's what happened, and I apologize for that. I wish you both the best in terms of Jen continuing on with Gerard Cosmetics and Marlena with your new brand. Because if you guys guys have not seen, Marlena Stell is starting a new makeup course. Is it a makeup course? Makeup Academy? Something like that. I'm going to go ahead and read some of the screenshots on here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to read every single one of them, just to give you guys a little bit of context, y'all, because she did post a lot of screenshots of their private conversations. If you guys want to head over to Reddit, you guys can head on over to the Jaclyn Hill snark part of it. There is a lot of attachments. Basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and read the first maybe like 4, and you guys can carry it on from there, only because it's a lot, y'all. Like, when I say it's a lot, it's a lot. So this is what it starts off right here. Why did you give blank permission to make a video about our failed collaboration? His video is filled with lies. He said he spoke to you about it, ... I don't know who this person is that is crossed out, but I am assuming that it is a drama channel, just given the context of it, you know. And this is what Marlena said right here. I haven't watched his video yet. He asked me what happened, and I told him it was timing with Morphe collab and Becca, and that it ended on good terms. Yeah, he definitely twisted your words and fabricating stuff. I'm shooting today, but we'll watch when I get back to the hotel. And then Jaclyn continues on right here. I am getting so many comments about what happened between me and Makeup Geek. People are convinced I did you dirty. People are talking bad about my mom because of it. I am going to film a video tomorrow and talk about what actually happened. I always loved Makeup Geek and supported the hell out of it. I have no problem telling the truth and reading the emails, which is honestly nothing but positivity, but I am not okay with taking a bullet that I don't deserve. I just want to give you a heads up. Y'all, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't remember her ever making a video about this. Or maybe like she did and deleted, or just honestly, y'all, maybe I wasn't too big on the like commentary drama scene of it back then. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. This is what Marlena had to say right here. I'm so sorry to hear they're bashing your mom because she's a good person and doesn't deserve that. I've been reading many comments tonight. I have never shared or publicly posted about our collab other than years ago stating it ended well. If I'm being honest, Jaclyn, on a personal level, I'm extremely hurt that over the years I have never said anything ill of you and have always supported how I could. I gave you much info to help you start your own brand or your brand, and even gave direct names and labs to get you started. Which, by the way, I do want to say, like, y'all, I talked about this before on my channel. Like, I feel like that would be such a tricky situation to give friends your lab name. Do you know what I mean? Because you create these custom formulas and like private stuff. Do you know what I mean? And obviously that can like rile up some type of like, you know, a competition. And I just feel like things can get really, really ugly. I would be like, oh, here, maybe you should try this lab or that lab, but not give out my lab personally, only because I just feel like that could get really, really messy, you know? Anyways, continuing on, when you became close to blank, which is not a jealous thing whatsoever, that you tossed me and Mug aside, you gave, I'm just willing to bet that she probably said Linda right there, close to, I don't know. I feel like during this time, Morphe obviously played a big role in it. That you tossed me and Mug aside, you gave that info to her to use for Morphe. You and her were both at Prisha together, and my team and I were there. You didn't see me because I was blank office. I texted you after seeing you in LA to ask if you wanted to meet even for coffee. You blew me off, yet showed up to the lab I connected you with, another brand owner. It's not right, ... Even really recently, after your divorce, I was willing to fly to Florida to be a support during your rough time, and you blew me off again. I know it's the personal side of things, but still is hurtful. I have more to say regarding your recent collab and such, but it's not my place, and I've stayed respectful of your business. I get questioned so much about you, and it's hard to keep staying silent when I also am taking bullets left and right. I hope you understand my point of view as well. I know you have to speak your truth because you're getting lots of heat. Please tell your mom I'm so sorry she's being dragged through this when she didn't do anything wrong and is so sweet. This is going to be the last part that I read, but it is cut off because this is just a reply to Marlena's. This is what Jaclyn had said right here. I am very sorry that you have ever felt hurt by me. That was never my intention. I have a lot of feelings about what happened to us on a personal level, but I want you to know that I did not stop using Makeup Geek because of Morphe or because of money. I never asked for a sponsorship or a penny outside of my commission that I earned. I helped Nick set up your affiliate program and gave him advice about it constantly. I told him influencers wouldn't want to work with it because it was too complex. I genuinely cared about your brand and wanted to help. I got hate constantly because it was basically the only brand I was using, but the products that started launching a couple years ago weren't getting me excited anymore, if I'm being totally honest. And you know I only use things I genuinely love, and then this part is all blacked out, which, by the way, I don't know if it's just because I'm so damn nosy. I'm like, what was said? Do you know what I mean? Like, why is it blacked out? If you're posting all these screenshots out there, why is like one little portion of it blacked out? You know what I mean? Anyways, that put a bad taste in my mouth and I distanced myself from you. Then you started hanging out with I don't know who, and he started spreading info about me and saying you were the source. That hurt me bad. I have never shared information, and this is where it's cut off. I went through the like screenshots and I was like, okay, where's the part of the rest of the part of that message? Because I feel like if she was putting that message out there, why not put the whole thing? Only because I feel like obviously it can be taken the wrong way or misconstrued, or people can start to make assumptions about it because it's like, okay, what's the rest of that message? You know what I mean? But once again, that is the last message that I am reading right here. Honestly, there is about, I would say, 10 more screenshots of text messages, but basically just going back and forth. And I think what this was, Jaclyn Hill's whole point of doing this is to basically show that they ended on good terms or that they had a conversation about things. But in my personal opinion, obviously I have no idea, this is literally just my opinion, I feel that Marlena during this time obviously wanted things to end as peaceful as possible. She didn't want any drama. She was like, oh my gosh, let's just make it work. But I think deep down in her core, I think that she was obviously very hurt and very affected about this. And it's like, obviously, what is she supposed to do with all of these eyeshadows that are sitting in her warehouse? It's like at the end of the day, she has to scramble to sell them. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, basically, Jaclyn Hill led her up the stream with no paddle and kind of just left her hanging. And just, I don't know. I just feel like obviously no matter what happened at the time, I feel like she should have followed through if Marlena was already placing the order for it. As soon as the order is going through, as soon as they are getting shipped back to the warehouse, it's like, okay, you have to do your part there because you literally already went through with this collaboration. Like I said, there is so much more details as far as like text back and forth, but in my personal opinion, I personally feel like it's basically just her justification of saying like, oh, well, we ended things like properly, so how come you're still talking about it? You know what I mean? But I personally feel like Marlena has residual feelings that she's holding on to that obviously she hasn't really vented about. And like just seeing Jaclyn Hill's pattern, I feel like it ignites that flame of like, oh my gosh, like this is an ongoing pattern with Jaclyn Hill. Do you know what I mean? Like how many brands has she worked with and then ended up being just so shady? Do you know what I mean? I feel like the straw that broke the camel's back was the whole cozy situation. So anyways, that is it for this video, y'all. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like Jaclyn Hill is ever going to change? Also, too, I asked you guys this before in a previous video. What do you guys think is up with her brand? Like as far as her makeup brand? Because since she's closing down her jewelry brand and since she is closing down her cozy brand, I wonder what's going to go on with Jaclyn Cosmetics. Are a lot of people still using them? Please let me know down below. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything pertaining to this situation. I know this is like very old stuff, but it recently just came out. Also, if you guys want to hear Jen Gerard's whole side of the story, she did do a very long podcast on the sesh. If you guys want to check that out, Marlena did the sesh podcast as well too. If you guys want to check that out, so that we guys have a little bit more context on this. And then don't forget to read the forum, which is Jaclyn Hill Snark, I believe it's called, on Reddit, so that way you guys can know the full details if you are interested. Because there is about 10 more screenshots that I'm just like, it's just too much to read, y'all. It's basically like the same thing over and over again. But anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.